Kissoon show. Bring it!
Let me ask you this question.
Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon show. Bring it!
Let me ask you this question. I would like to ask the AG to propose legislation for what we call small claims court. There are lots of poor people, to an example you just gave, that they have issues with others and sometimes with large firms, but the lawyer fee is greater than the fee you're claiming.
It is
It is their right. Yes.
A right, the right that someone has. All of our rights exist in context.
What is the context of a second medical opinion?
Because you're disrespecting the process.
No.
Jesus, this is common sense, man.
No.
Jesus, this is common sense, man.
Any situation which you seem to do, you're just dealing with Afro-Guyanese issues. If one, you can't bring and pull the leaders of the African community together, you're failing. And if two, you can't put forward a future, a blueprint, and a plan for African Guyanese, you're failing as well.
Hi there. Pleasant Monday evening to you, the beginning of the week. Well, it's really Sunday's the beginning of the week, right?
Beginning of the work week.
Work week. Sunday people work in India and China. Thanks for being with us this Monday evening. As you could see from the description or the advertisement since midday, we're asking you to share your thoughts with us on the possibility of Azurddin Mohamed and his father being extradited. Well, it's not a possibility. It's a surety. I mean, why would they slap 11 charges of them in federal court in Florida and it's just finished like that? Now, I want to do my introductory remarks before you call, and then I'll Craig has some brief introductory remarks. We'll be brief because the calls take priority and you'll be calling. But let me show you what I wrote in my column of Saturday, August the 30th. This is my column, Saturday, August the 30th. You see the headline there? Things Guyanese have to know about Mohamed. This is my column, and I was saying there is something that Guyanese should discuss. And they're not discussing it about Mohamed. Now we have seen that something. But I wrote about that something in August 30th. Let me read from my column. Before I do that, all over Guyana, people were saying the sanction demand for joking taxes in Guyana. And that took a life of its own, that the United States found out that Mohamed was joking taxes on his gold export, and they put sanction in him. I don't understand why Guyanese ran away with that. Why the US care about any Guyanese citizen joking taxes in Guyana? Or 193 countries in the UN. The US is not interested, and the US cannot monitor tax evasion in 193 countries. Let me read for you what I wrote in my article. The thing Guyanese have to know about Mohamed. I read now. The position that Guyanese have taken is that Mohamed has been exposed by the American government for evading duties on the export of gold. The US, because of its sheer immeasurable latitude in the world economy, cannot monitor and will not monitor tax evasion in 193 countries that make up the US. That is a logistical impossibility, and such surveillance of country's economy to see the shape of tax evasions as something the US is not interested in doing. It makes no sense the past and present government of the US to check to see which business companies in those 193 countries are evading taxes. Is the US so fond of Guyana as a special friend, and therefore it rushed to do a nice thing for Guyana and inform Guyana that Mohamed is a massive tax evader? No, that is not the way international relations work. The Treasury Department of the United States government found out something about Mohamed's gold exports to the US and began probing those exports. What they found was formidable and dangerous, so sanctions with far-reaching implications were put on Mohamed. What needs to be boldly stated here, and what the Guyanese people need to digest, is that sanctions were not placed against Mohamed for tax evasion only. So now we see why Mohamed was sanctioned. Has nothing to do with US being in love with Guyana and told Guyana this man is evading export taxes. Look, the indictment here. 11 charges against Mohamed for violating American laws. It's a criminal indictment, including money laundering. So finally, Guyanese now need to shut up about why they sanction the man for tax evasion. You had to know at a commonsensical level. Why would the United States pick out Mohamed and sanction him for tax evasion in Guyana? What about the 193 countries? The United States has that capacity to tell 193 countries who's joking the taxes? No. They found out Mohamed was violating US laws, and they took 2 years and compiled the evidence, and now we have 11 charges. So that is my introductory mark. And one thing more before Leonard Craig comes in with his thing, and then we go to the phone calls. When Nigel Dharamlal got into trouble and women made accusations about him, Retred, PNC, WPA, AFC, Starbuck News, Kaito News, and it went on. Dharamlal killed no one. The Starbuck News, of all people who hate the government more than perhaps anybody on planet Earth, said that Azurddin Mohamed is alleged to be involved in the killing of Fagundes outside Palm Court. And I am saying that crime, Guyanese must call on the government to bring in investigators from Jamaica, India, China, the West if you want, to investigate if Azurddin Mohamed was involved. Nigel Hughes has a client who says Azurddin Mohamed was involved. Nigel Hughes is very silent. I am calling on all Guyanese to make their voices heard about this Fagundes murder on Main Street. You know, there is some standoff now between a trillionaire and a small gold miner. The small gold miner is complaining that this trillionaire is going on his land, and when he complained to the police is siding with this trillionaire. I've said it since I entered UG. One of the problems of small countries is when you have very, very rich people. They control the society, they control the legal authorities, they control the police. The man brought his legal documents and said, this trillionaire is going on my land. And when I complained to the police harassing me and my employees. That is the danger of small societies. When you get these very, very, very rich people, they buy important state officials. They buy people in in the country. And that is why small is dangerous. When I was at UG, they had a book that was a worldwide hit mark. Small is beautiful. Meaning when a country is small, it doesn't have that industrial pollution of the big countries. But small can be anti-civilization and can be very dangerous. When you have people that could fork out money by the hundreds of millions, they are going to own the country. You know, there's a policeman in front of the court for money laundering, and it has been revealed in court by his own admission that a businessman gave him $8 million as a wedding gift, and no one has brought out the name of that businessman. It hasn't been in court. If you could give such a high-ranking policeman $8 million a Christmas gift, you own who? I hope justice prevail and that trillionaire is told by the police to get off the man's land. The man's legally owned land, and he produced the paper. Now the man has made some serious accusations against the Bartica police station. I don't want to make that accusation. I am sticking with political theory that very, very rich people, billionaires and trillionaires, in any country in the world, including the United States, including Europe, they buy this society, including the United States and Europe. I heard Elizabeth Warren. I read where Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, the federal senator from Massachusetts in the United States, said the guy who owns Amazon, Jeff Bezos, does not pay taxes. Anyway, before the calls come in, Leonard Craig.
Yeah, good night, everyone. I quickly want to plug an issue with respect to the convening of Parliament. I've heard the opposition, and I always say, Freddie, the opposition got to start having sensible opposition to whatever they want. But saying that it is a dictatorship because the Parliament has not yet been convened, I have before me a document that I put together with all the election dates and the days it took for Parliament to be convened after. And you have from 72, after 1992, for example, or 83 days, obviously it had to take some time because there was violence, lots of violence after the 92 election, which prevented Parliament from being convened. But the average time in terms of days after the president is being sworn in that it takes to convene Parliament is 41 days. That's the average time it takes. And that is 41 days without the large 83. And another time it took a very long time was in 2020 between the election and when Parliament was convened. But what I did, I dropped that and checked the time from when the president was sworn in to when Parliament was convened. And the last Irfan Ali administration took 36 days. And as it is right now, since it's swearing in to now, it's only 29 days. So this big hullabaloo that is being, people are talking about the Guyana is not democratic. We are being run by a dictator. There are members in the opposition who are saying that. You know, and they're saying it daily. And
we're not gonna have an opposition.
And it's pure nonsense, right? So for example, the second parliament took 72 days. The third parliament took 17. The fourth parliament 46. Fifth parliament 56. Sixth parliament 83. Seventh parliament 46. Eighth parliament 46. Ninth parliament 31. 10th parliament 45. 11th parliament 30. 12th parliament 36. And the 13th parliament so far is 29 days since the president was sworn in. Now, if So it is not like the president today is racking up high numbers going past the average. The president is well below the average. And then the constitutional outside date is November 3rd. So the ruckus that is being you're hearing coming from the opposition is just empty sounding barrels.
But why everything we were dictatorship, we are democratic?
Yeah.
Why don't they stop the foolishness? People haven't bought that in the election, rejected them, and they don't stop.
So what I'm just trying to do is to educate people. Don't listen to foolishness, right? The president is being deliberate and is planning. There are several pieces of legislation that has to come to the fore. I heard of cash grant, all kind of thing, and these legislation have to come. And I believe the president wants to, as soon as Parliament is convened, business after business after business after business. A budget also has to be presented before the end of the year. The vice president promised an early budget. And so all of these things are part of a deliberate plan. What the opposition should probably be doing right now is looking at motions and laws that they could amend and motions that they can bring. They're rushing to convene Parliament, and I'm telling you, not one of them ain't got a motion to bring to Parliament if it convenes tomorrow. Not one of them. Ain't got no motion on behalf of the Guyanese people, because based on parliamentary protocol and the parliamentary standing order, any member can bring a motion before the Parliament. And I'm telling you, the opposition ain't got one. But they come in and tell you that there is no democracy, that there is a dictatorship because Parliament is not called, and it's only 29 days since the president was sworn in.
It's only 29 days since the president...
the average for Guyana is 41.
It's only 29 days since the president was sworn in, and that means it's only a couple days to that 29 days when the election. Mm-hmm. And they were saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. Apartheid, creeping apartheid, dictatorship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they got a guy named Trevor Duncan.
Well, he's the number one purveyor of this falsity.
With a bell, ringing the bell, and the people tell Trevor Duncan that he's a piece of nonsense. Yeah. His party got 12 seats.
So I'm saying to viewers tonight, don't bother with the empty barrels. That's what they're there for. There is a biblical text that refers to such people as sounding brass and tinkling cymbals. Don't.
That's from the Bible. Song like Shakespeare. I'm not familiar with the Bible. Our lines are open 676-3681. Call in from wherever you are, and let's hear about what you think about Azurddin Mohamed. He may not be the opposition leader. You have to be naive, and to use a strong word which is relevant and appropriate, you have to be stupid to think the United States is going to charge Azurddin Mohamed 11 times. You got a call.
Good evening. You're on to the program.
Hi. Good night. I just want to talk a little about the one-off payment that the president put in place at the NIS for people who did not meet the 750 contributions. Mm-hmm. Is that okay?
Yes, go right ahead.
All right. What is happening here, I am a Guyanese living in the state of Maryland, and I do qualify for that benefit. I submitted 2 applications, one online and one through WhatsApp. Now I called to find out about the payment. And what was told to me was if I wanted to collect the payment, I have to come to Guyana. That's one. Or I can authorize somebody in Guyana and let them collect the money, but the check will be made payable to that person. Right? So that put me in a position now where I can lose the money because anything can happen, and they say they wouldn't be responsible. Right? I mean, I don't understand how they can go about something like that. This is a serious...
But so if you're living abroad, why you don't come and collect the money? You're living abroad. That's the disadvantage you have. You can't blame the NIS for that.
Listen, man. You know, people live all parts of the world and they get money. If I'm living in the United States, my Social Security will follow me any part of the world.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, go ahead.
Have you asked if they have an option to deposit it in a bank account in your name?
Well, what they're saying is that I have to come if I want to do that. I don't have a bank account there. I'm over here a long time. You know,
so what is
most of my relatives...
Okay, I hear you, but what is it you were seeking? That it be transferred to you overseas?
No, I asked them to issue a check
in your name,
payable to me. Yes, and give it to someone there who I would authorize to uplift the check, and they would mail the check to me.
Yeah, but how will you change it?
Excuse me, it's the one-off payment you're talking about?
Yeah, the one-off.
Yes.
How much is the one-off payment?
The different amount based on your number of contributions.
So you have to receive that. Guyana will lose foreign exchange in you receiving it in the US.
So let me ask you a question. If you receive a check issued in Guyana, let's say to Republic Bank, how do you collect that money?
Well, what I would attempt to do is to run it through my bank here and have it cleared.
A check from Guyana, is that possible?
Yeah, you can do that. You can write the check from over here if you're in Guyana, and they will clear it over here too.
I don't know that.
What is that? NIS write a check for John Jones.
Let's say through Republic Bank. Mm-hmm.
And that check automatically goes to John Jones in the US? That's what you said?
If I receive the check, I can take it to my bank over here.
No, sir. You can, if the NIS write a check for you, let's say your name is John Jones, and that check gets to you in Maryland, it cannot be cashed at the American bank. No.
I'm not saying it be cash. I would deposit into the account of the bank.
Well, whether it's cashed or not, the bank, no.
Yeah, I got difficulty with that.
That's not so, sir.
But that happens all the time. That happens all the time.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I never heard about that. Sir.
Yeah. Listen, they have trillions of check clearing here every day. You think they have time to do what they're describing there? It goes to the clearing house, and all the checks are cleared there.
No. What? That's a different matter you're talking about. You talking about a Guyana check given to an American citizen. Sir, I must say, sir, I've never heard about that. And I don't think our foreign exchange...
Not because you never heard about it doesn't mean it exists.
But not because you saying it exists means it exists.
All right.
Excuse me?
Why let them give me the check?
Let them give you what?
And then let them give me the check, and then the onus is on me to get the money.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you another thing in there. Another thing that happened there. A lot of people are probably dead, and they will not be able to collect that money. And all they need to do, because they will know who applied for that money, all they need to do is to fill out a form and get somebody else's name and put it there, and they can get that money. Simple as that.
Yeah, I find that to be strange, though, that if you make the application and so you authorize somebody, it will go in that person's name. That's strange.
Right. That's what they told me. And the next thing, accounting is my business, and I know what I'm saying here. I'm a retired accountant. I worked for the largest accounting firm in the world, KPMG, while I was over. I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Nobody, when you put that check in somebody else's name, you lose the audit trail. The audit trail is gone.
Yeah. I find that to be strange, but I'll inquire about that.
Yes, I know believe me, I know what I'm saying.
All right.
You can go and look for authorization here and authorization there and all of that.
Before you go, you're over your fight. Before you go, how long you lived in Maryland? How long you lived
I'm
in
over here like over 35 years.
Over 35 years. Okay, well,
Yes.
well.
But I worked here, and after I saw this in the newspaper, I decided to go online. I logged in and I saw.
No, I just want to know how long you live. Thanks for coming through, but before you go, so you need the money?
Well, everybody needs money. I have money, but it's a benefit that I'm entitled to.
No, but that's a different thing.
Obviously.
That's a different thing. Anyway, thanks for coming through. I hope you get your money that you need. Bye bye, sir.
But he just said he will inquire into it.
Yeah, I'll inquire about the facts of why NIS is issuing a check in somebody else's
To someone
name.
else.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sir. Bye bye.
Since we are on the NIS thing, let me just update people what's happened. So far,
little guy needs money, man.
So far, 25 people have messaged me with respect to their NIS.
Repeat that.
25
So
people.
The foolish editor-in-chief of the Starbook News that brings the GHRA, Ghanaian Human Rights Association, Mike McCormack, alive. One hopes that the people who hear that will tell the stupid editor-in-chief of the Starbook News that 25 people call you about NIS. How many people call Mike McCormack of the Ghanaian Human Rights Association about the NIS? Maybe you should be the head of the GHRA.
So 25 people called and 20 of their issues were resolved so far. And the 5 names that I will call now,
you want to call?
It is being worked upon. I'll call the 5 names after this call. It is being worked upon. Just know that your issue is being dealt with. It's just that a lot of digging for information has to take place. And I'll explain in a minute. Good evening. You're onto the program.
Hey, good evening, Leonard. Do me a favor. I need for you to forward me the information of that individual who called about the NIS thing, and I will personally send a check for you. This is a man who claimed that he was an accountant and lived in the US for 35 years, and he has studied $2 from Guyana.
No, don't say that.
Hey, listen. Sometimes you got to adhere to protocol, but sometimes these things are overbearing. He left here 35 years and had the temerity to say he walked with one of the biggest. So is he that bad, man? Look, my wife, my daughter, and I did not take the COVID money because we were not affected by COVID. I keep saying in this program, there's a
Freddie Kissoon, I would have spoken on one of your programs before, and I said, I think Daram Lal was in the program. Not Daram Lal, sorry. No.
Daram Kumasi you had.
Yes. And I said, if ever I go down to Guyana or whenever I go down there, I'm entitled to the money. I will donate my money to charity, and I made that commitment to you, Freddie Kissoon.
Get a man a check, man. Right? Get a man, write a check for the man.
Tell Craig to send the man.
Let me don't belabor the point.
Write a check for the man. The man probably need him. He probably should not have migrated.
No. Freddie, different people live by different rules, people believe.
Leonard, you can
entitled to a benefit.
No. You're knocking out. You're knocking out people's misplaced attitude to life. You're knocking out that.
I hear you, Freddie, but it's the same thing like the cash grant. Remember, I told you I am not a fan of universal cash grant.
I'm writing about that.
But if it is universal, no matter how much money I have, I'm entitled to it. I am going to collect the money.
No. I have.
You have a different philosophy from me.
No, but all of us have to follow. As I keep saying, all of us have to follow some kind of moral guidelines in life. I was not sick with COVID. My daughter was not sick with COVID. My wife was not sick with COVID. We live normal life. it is not an entitlement morally to me and my family to have
Thank you,
collected
Freddie
that
Kissoon.
COVID check. It was not.
Thank you, Freddie
It's
Kissoon.
about people who are affected by COVID.
I
Now, what you
hear
do,
you.
what a person does, they make an acrobatic leap without the moral thinking and say, the government is giving you a check because of COVID. It's a check for everybody. Why should I not take it? Where does that leave the moral guidelines?
I hear you, Freddie, but there's also the other view
Well,
that
yes,
a
yes,
person
yes,
is entitled to.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? All right. There's someone else. That guy on WhatsApp would have gotten cut off. Oh, this both persons get cut off. Eh? All right. So I'm going through the names of the other 5
Oh,
people.
wait. He's supposed to give you the Wi-Fi thing so the people wouldn't be cut off. Remember?
Yeah. Well, you could pass it at any time.
Robert, could you, operators, could you give Craig the Wi-Fi password, please? Please do that.
All right. So for the 5 persons who we have not yet been able to solve their issues, I'm going to call the names. You hear your name. I just want you to know that the issue is being worked on. Some of these people have given me documents from the 70s. I've sent documents through WhatsApp from the 70s and all of that. So NIS have to work through it, and I just want you to know it is being worked upon. One name would be Errol Prasad, Gaukaran Narain, Ramday Chattogun, Puran Prasad, and Manish Tani.
Mashamani.
No. This name is hard to pronounce.
Let me see.
Mahasha? How you pronounce though?
Mahashtani.
Mahashtani. Okay, so the last 2 letters silent. Okay, Mahashtani. Right? So these are the persons. Just know that your issue is
But you did what?
Just know that your issue is being worked upon.
He sent the password for Wi-Fi so people wouldn't be connected. Please get it and use it so the people making the call would not get knocked off. You got it?
Not yet.
He said he hasn't got it as yet.
All right, let me take this call and then we're gonna go to that.
Well,
Hi, good evening. You're on to the program.
Good evening, gentlemen. I have I want to give a complaint. Somebody tell me yesterday about the police at 51 police station.
Yeah, but don't call no name, yeah? Just say police at 51.
No name. The guy, I know him as a...
The same thing happened there?
Only up on Saturday, and when he only up Saturday, he only up for the work. So I said, what you do? He tell me that I hold up the bike and call him back for Sunday afternoon around 4:30. I was in my hammock, and he tell me I have to pay $25,000. I said, "Bye, what's the matter with you? You'll pay $25,000. You let them out anytime. They can't tell you what is it. But then again, it's only about $7,000, $575 for the fine. Which I'll give these people the money. So tell me, I mean, you don't know the name, but even walk and come down. I say it's true Indian police. But this is the things what happen right through scaling, peer bribery, the corruption police. Police, the who for police pick up, they not pick up. Let me tell you the truth. How many times I'm talking to this program? The corruption would never stop. The police would never stop the corruption. Not all of them, but they would never stop this corruption. This money is too sweet for them and not rank to this police. Me tell you, go back to the station. Whenever you see the people is waiting, record them. Put on your phone on record and walk inside the station and talk to them and record them and bring it after me. And I will send it up. Because these things got to stop. Because the back in the government look very, very bad. This police make government look real terrible. Let me tell you the truth. They would never stop the nonsense.
Right.
They never stop the nonsense. And let me tell you here now, I'm telling you in Skeleton here, me no man there without number plate, are ready for police and them a gaffer with the motorbike and they don't do nothing. Nothing in the world. You know why? they're frightening over, but then it's the kind of different portion of different things. The bad jobs then. So that is what going on in Skelly. The police them is so corrupt. The high one all is Skelly. Be corruption. That's all Miguel for said.
Okay, good. You got the Wi-Fi password?
Let me check.
Check it so you could so people wouldn't get knocked off.
What number is Senator Robert?
Robert, you want to come and write it down? You got a pen?
Hey, good evening. You're onto the program.
Hello, Mr. Craig.
Hey, good evening. You're onto the program.
Good evening, sir. I'm glad I heard Mahesh Kani name being called, and I am going to get on to him. I don't think it's a problem, but thank you very much for looking at it, and I'll ask him to check with NIS, okay?
Yeah. It is being worked on. Before the end of this week, they're gonna solve it. I think it got something to do with some with a claim that needed to be made and a couple of contributions that are missing. So they're working on it.
That's correct.
And I'll get back, and I should be able to get more information on it in a day or two.
Okay, great. And I sent you his cell phone number, so they can call him as well.
Yeah. Surely.
Thank you very much, my friend. I really, really do appreciate your expediting the business for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a blessed night.
Good. Thanks.
Good. Bye. I sent you his cell phone numbers.
Leonard is putting in the studio Wi-Fi number, so when the person's calling, they wouldn't get knock off, which is a problem we had last week, and that's because Craig's phone didn't have the Wi-Fi number for the studio. So with that now, when you call, you wouldn't get knock off. We've had a couple of people like that last week.
BUR10B. Okay.
Right, sorry for that break. He was inserting the Wi-Fi into his phone from the studio, so good, we have a call.
Hi, good evening. You're onto the program.
Yes. Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Yes, that guy that called and says he worked with KPMG, the accountant. Just to clarify something, you do wire transfer. You don't write a check from a country and send it to another country.
I've never heard about that. So he can't. No. He can't be serious. I'm telling you, I'm no accountant, but I've lived in Guyana and I have a bank account. No, Craig.
Yeah, you can't write a check from Guyana and send to US, and they're gonna
no. In fact, they don't. I don't think he's what he says. I don't think he's what he says. No, I don't think he's what he says. No, they don't have
clearing houses anymore.
No, I don't think that man is what he says he is. No, when he said that when he said that about that check thing, I became suspicious.
I find it to be difficult to understand. You probably work way back in the 70s.
That's right.
And
he's looking for
the man wants his little money, man. The man.
And in those days, when you had clearinghouse was between specific countries, like the Commonwealth countries through Britain. I didn't know that there was a clearinghouse between Guyana and America and so on. So,
they don't. Even the US doesn't have clearinghouses today. Everything is electronic money transfer.
Yes. The SWIFT code is replaced the clearinghouse.
Exactly.
I don't know what he's trying to prove.
All right. Thanks for coming through, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
I know that couldn't happen. If that happens, you know what? Guyana wouldn't have no foreign exchange. People wouldn't have any money But the topic is, as you know, they have been.
You're on to the program. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Freddie. I just heard a call from the quarantine concerning police.
Yeah.
Police corruption.
But I am calling concerning...
You're a policeman from the quarantine?
No, he said he don't know.
No, I'm
Just joking.
calling... I said I just heard a call from the quarantine talking about police bribery, right?
Uh-huh.
I will endorse what the gentleman said. These police are reckless. Even if somebody died, it's 5 and 6 days to prepare coroner's report. Until you give them money, they're not prepared.
Jesus.
And no matter who you talk to from top to bottom, I've spoken from the commander down to the officer. Nobody heard and listened to the cries of the people. Nobody do anything to help.
Well, Robson Ben is gone, thankfully, but I think they still retain him at the ministry. What they retain him
I saw Mr. Ben myself in his office to bring down.
Thankfully, Freddie.
Thankfully, I think he should have. I think that's one of the ministerial removal that I think Guyanese are welcome.
Okay.
I saw the man in his office in Breakdown. I took evidence to that man. I own a funeral home in Barbados, and I could tell you the mercy of the people facing with police. It's merciful.
Oh my
it's
God!
terrible. No. Simple thing to start, Freddie. Put up a sign in every police station when you make your report and you feel nothing. There must be an outline with confidential people receiving those information. See, then stop this nonsense.
Yeah, and
it must stop. You must have noticed. People must know that there are people that you can go to and get confidential.
You've got to set a trap. You've got to have some recording with you, so you could like what they found 2 policemen at the airport shaking on people. I mean, for your loved one is being buried and you got to wait. I mean, those police should not only be dismissed, they should be arrested and charged. I mean, you play...
The thing is a disgrace. I just came up the office at my funeral home with some people from Blackbush. It's a terrible thing, brother. It's a shameful to see these people live in condition and the stress they got to go through.
No, man.
More than Guyana.
No, man.
I have spoke to everybody. I spoke to the REO today. I've spoke to the medical officer today. Nobody seemed to have an answer for nothing.
No.
Poor people suffering at the mercy.
All right.
Come on, this has to go to the Minister of Home Affairs. We've got this. Craig and I need to speak to her. I'm sorry we're not taping this call. But if you could...
I intended to make an appointment to see her. I'm going to take the evidence. I have evidence. I have piles of evidence in my office.
All right, share the evidence with us, and Craig and I will speak. Craig and I will have a seek.
Penny, you need in every station put up a board. Your right is this. This is your right. These corners must be prepared within 48 hours, 24 hours. Must be. If it's a murder, it's a different story of investigation. But simple, basic thing, buddy. Somebody sleep and dead. And you got to go wrong rebuilding. Something is wrong.
All right. Thanks for coming. So we heard. And,
parts of it. We have a petro state now.
I
believe parts of Guyana that
I believe
gone off.
There should be a civilian organization or partially civilian that investigates. Good evening, sir. You answer the program.
You got to tune down your volume. We're hearing ourselves. Hello.
The OPR thing that they have is clearly not working effectively. That is. Hi, good evening.
Tune down your phone or your TV. It's terrible. We're getting a terrible feedback. Wait.
Good night, Mr. Craig.
Yes.
I'm Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah.
Hi.
I just want to find Mr. Craig if he get any word. Remember to send some stuff for you for Mr. Kubler from USA concerning the pension. You want to have cash?
What's the name?
Or you say that Kubler, Seth Kubler. I sent 4 copies of
I didn't see
information.
that one. I probably missed that one in the long list of of
Mr.
thing.
Kubla need the
yes,
one-off
you can.
pension?
Can you send
Yeah.
can you send a message to me right now so that I record it and I'll check it tonight?
All right.
Yeah, send a
All right.
WhatsApp to me right now from the
I'm
same
gonna send
number.
WhatsApp to you.
Yeah, from the same number so that I could
good.
see. Yeah, I probably missed that one.
Yeah, reminiscence was concerned the guy from National Lithographic at the time when you said that NS only started in 19.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that complaint, but like I missed that one. Like I didn't see that one at all. So just send me a message from the same number, and I'll think because there were so many I had to be searching through.
I know,
probably missed
I
that
know.
one. Good.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope people like Mike McCormack and Ann Passad of Starbuck News have seen what you have done. And this has been people like you have been doing this edit. I remember when I was at Kaicho News, Adam Avich used to get so many complaints, and you're wondering why these people complaining to the editor of Kaicho News and not the Guyana Human Rights Association. And tomorrow you can see front page that man at the helm of the Starbuck News is one of the most obnoxious persons I've met in my life.
Hi, good evening.
A very good evening to you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
I got two things just to say, and one is NIS, so that's going to be the last. However, I wanted to salute the former president, Jack Dio, for his name upon that race. I think his name should have been for many other things. However, I see the president, the former president, as an icon. I think his expertise needed right now in this entire world. He is. I saw the former president as a leader in many capacities, and I think he would have become. I think he could be a president of the United States, and I believe he could have run that country far better than. I don't want to say that joker, but forgive me for saying that over here. But I saw President Jack Dio as a really interested person to be in leadership in many areas in this country. However, here what I want to ask, and I do that on NIS. Now, if you have 550 contributions, but NIS, and your money is about $900 and something $1,000. What is your entitlement for a payout, even though that you didn't reach the criteria that they have there? That's just the question I have. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Good evening. You're on to the program.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
I have a question. My dad, he recently returned to Guyana from the U.S. Is he eligible for the cash grant?
Well, I would think yes. Once he's living in Guyana, he has an address, he has an ID card. That's what they ask for.
Yeah,
that's what they ask for.
The vice president said he wants to be living.
Yeah, if he lives in Turkine, they will set up a thing at Turkine. If he lives in Plaisance, and you come with your ID card and give them your address, and they prepare a check in your name. They wouldn't know where. They wouldn't ask where he was living all this time. They just want the identification and address.
So the identification
you have to be a
Guyana passport or
a US
Guyana
passport.
ID?
No, US passport wouldn't work.
You gotta get Guyana ID.
No. You can't give cash grant to American citizen.
No, he's a Guyanese, but he just returned.
Yeah, but you gotta get Guyanese papers. Otherwise, he will not be eligible. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
I find I've noticed a trend I don't know if you notice it. And I know you have the position that if you're a Guyanese and you're entitled to it, people feel that if they were Guyanese and they're entitled to it, so be it. I think you have a call.
Good evening, you're onto the program.
Hi, good evening. Uncle, am I on to Freddie Kissoon show?
Yes. Go on, sir. We listen to you.
Uncle Freddie and Mr. Lennox Craig. Great job you guys are doing.
Leonard. You give the man a new name.
Leonard, Mr. Leonard, Mr. Craig, doing a fantastic job. Great. Now I want to address two things here quickly. So make a note of it. There is this road, Red Road, Providence Road. I think there should be a traffic light. I think that's because when you're coming out of that road, now that the place is going to get more busy. Let's say you're going down the Heroes Highway and you're going to make a right to go into Providence. There's no traffic light. There is, and I think that's an intersection. That's the government needs to look at that.
Dangerous.
Yeah, that whole
you're meeting up with eastbound traffic.
There is no roundabout there, and that's going into a major Providence, the Red Road. That's a major road. All right, so you go stop there, you stick up in the middle, and those big trucks are coming. I think the government really need to look at that. That's one.
Yeah, that whole area actually needs a flyover, really. But
we are going into major other construction, right?
Yeah, in the interim, probably
I've seen.
Stoplight.
Yeah, the accident that happened at East Coast a few weeks ago, a couple of days ago. What do you need now with these new roads that are being built? When you're going to make when you're going into a major road from a major road going into make that intersection, these engineers need to do this thing in such a way that you cater for that traffic that goes off. I don't know the name of it, that you can slip in and stay there, and even if you're waiting on the traffic light, you're not interfering with the traffic that is coming behind you that is going straight. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good, that's one. So we offer that. Secondly, Uncle Freddie, you guys need to go out more. I think you need to take a trip to Perico. These people, I feel so much for those people that are those women.
I was there last month. I was at Perico last month.
That travels on this. Okay, so just take a view on the boat, like how you guys would do the stuff and go different places. That big boat is crazy. I know the government is ordering another boat. There is no room for the pensioners, for the older folks, for the disabled to get up and sit upstairs, right? They have a steep step. It's not healthy for those people. We have to look at these. We have to cater for them somehow. I know people might say they're old, whatever. Uncle Freddie is simply something, but he's agile. He fly away like nothing. But look at the rest. Look at the people. I'm just saying we need to do something for those people, right?
Okay.
Am I still there?
Yeah, man. And you're making an important point. I just wish that the government would set up an agency and would take these calls and act on it. I in my column on Sunday Gone, in my Sunday column, one of the advice I've offered to President Ali as he shapes his fantastic legacy is based on my 3 years experience on these calls, that he set up an agency, a high-powered agency, paid good professionals in this agency, and they can solve these issues.
Definitely. Look how Mr. Craig, I don't know if he has been called to any ministry as yet, but that's a work of a NIS. He should be the manager of some section of the NIS dealing with these things and responding back to people, right? Which is very important. Secondly, when there's outreach, something that I support the administration, and I want to bring something quickly to attention. When there was this visit, the vice president went to an outreach, visiting the coast. And the very next day, you make a complaint. You got to call back the next day. This is before election. You got to call back the next day with a follow-up. Until no election coming on, you can get a follow-back call on your issue that you were supposed to be dealing with, because a month on past already. But you get a call the very next day.
Okay.
So I hope that these things just don't be election gimmicks, if you understand what I mean, because people have serious needs, people have concern that the ordinary man might not be able to help them.
Look, Saul, every time we put a topic on this call-in, people ignore the topic and they talk about the problems they have. For example, the topic last Monday was ignored.
Right,
and people talk about their own problem. The topic is Azurddin Mohamed and whether you'll be extradited. And people just say, me ain't got time with that. Like they're calling in about their problem. I mean, the man owns a funeral parlor in Barbies. And you got to wait 6-7 days for the police give you your post-mortem report. These are the things. We're too small a country. We're too small a country for these things to be soaring. If you add on another million people to Guyana, then we'll be swamped with non-existent things that should be existing.
Yeah, I also want to make this final note, and then I'll leave. This final something that I want to say. Now we talk about the former minister of
Home Affairs.
Was it Home Affairs? I can tell you this: it's nothing to do with that. That man is not a people's person, right? And I don't know what he's still advising there.
No. Be careful. So far, you're on good grounds. He's not.
I'm not
he's not a people's person. I don't think anybody could sue you for saying a minister is not a people's person.
He's not a people's person.
Yeah, keep on that track.
I went to visit his office, and trust me, he's not giving me a chance to explain myself. Right? He's not giving me a chance to tell him why and what of the necessary. But I can tell you, the new minister, he is a people's person, and I hope the other ministers. I can tell you of a few ministers. For the moment you go to them with an issue and you try to help somebody, they are there. Minister of Agriculture, Pauline Sakai. I know Miss Waldron. She is very, very, very helpful and very down to earth. There's a few ministers, and then because they're gonna make the government look bad. I'm telling you, if they don't act and do what they have. Look at the president. He's the president, and he's such a down to earth man. He's such a man is there for the people. They need to take pattern, and I mean, I just hope that we don't have complaints coming in about ministers not looking into people's welfare and trying to help people.
Priya Manik-Chan appeared in this program 3 years ago, and we put the question to her: when you get into government, you have your bad eggs. You've got to deal with them, and she agreed. And I think it's a common sense. It's not something to discuss in political theory. It's political theories out there. It's common sense. If you become the president, your cousin cannot go around throwing his weight around. Your cousin's supposed to help the president, to help the prime minister look good, to look good. And I believe things are coming. Things are coming. Like, for example, these NDC people, they treat people badly. Yeah. Some of these, I am too old now to look for perks. I have said, I am glad. I favor the removal of Ben. I don't think Mr. Ben was ministerial material. And one person who lived as part of the kingdom of the PPP was not ministerial material, was Clement Rowe. Clement Rowe and I grew up together in politics. And I think they should have made Clement Rowe a party czar, put him in an office and let him run the PPP. But they should not have given him those important, right. I know Mrs. Jagan felt. Yeah, go on, sir.
I have one other thing that I want to say. I was 5 years ago when the government took office. I spoke to them when they had an outreach, and up to now I have a matter that has been unresolved. Right? One minister told me I need to come in the next company and forget about the money. Right? So I was like, this is a minister telling you this. I won't call his name on national, here now, but I'm just telling you, these are some of the response that you get from some of these people, that they're not there to help. Now, if I was a contractor doing work and the government owe me money and I have some overpayment for the government, I'm just asking for it to be resolved. Whether I owe a small amount to get it done, I don't want my name in the system owing the government, because when the government owe you, that's okay. But when you owe them, there's going to be a red flag always there. So I don't know I mean, I know there's the Minister Pauline, she's there. The Minister Prichan, I really don't know her well, but I'm hoping that when we reach out to these people, they can be as helpful, great material that will make the government look good. Understand? So I'm just saying, people are looking, people are listening, people are looking at all the overseas calls that are coming in and are being helped. What about the locals here? Right? I don't have a problem with those people who are calling, who are Guyanese, who left, like the guy just now, 30, 40 years ago, but he want his money. I mean, like you said, if that's an entitlement, he's entitled to that. But then we have to look at the people who are here, who voted for government, whether it's the opposition, the government, whatever, the people that are living here. And I think those are the people that we really need to touch, because the people overseas, they should have money, or they should have something that
what he did 40 years in the US anyway, so.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyhow, you guys continue your program, and have a blessed night. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, what is coming out clearly, and what something I always embrace, is that the police needs to have an agency that investigate police criminal behavior.
You read what is going on in Bartica with that land, that trillionaire that is encroaching on that go. The man is actually saying that trillionaire controls the Bartica police.
Yeah, and the OPR is supposed to be for professional misconduct and not for crime. Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, you're onto the program. Go right ahead.
Good, how are you guys?
All is well, just go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all is well, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was listening to your program, and that guy just now, I think he need a government for himself. He need a separate government to take care of him. Thank you.
You hear the difference in opinion, Freddie?
Yeah.
All right. Good evening. You're onto the program.
Freddie and Craig, I've got a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Go
the
right
question
ahead.
is, you've been on the show for many years. Who's compensating you guys for all the great, fantastic work you're doing? How are you compensated for this work?
Well, I don't know, but Craig, the one time I wanted to leave the program because I was spending too much money on cell phone calls. Now, Craig seemed to have taken over that job, but after the call-ins, I used to spend a lot of money following up what people call in to complain, and I stopped. I stopped because my bill was coming up a lot, so I stopped with that. But we get no money for this program. I pay my own gas. I pay my own food. But that is a contribution we make to Guyana.
I understand. Well, I'm a Guyanese. I live overseas, and I watch your program quite often. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I worked in Guyana many years, and I was part of an NIS program. I do not need any money from Guyana. But what I would like to do is to, if possible, compensate you guys for the hard work. Is there a way you can create a fund and I can deposit some money into that?
No, it's okay.
No.
It's okay.
We're actually just making a contribution. Don't worry about that.
It's okay, sir. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
But anyway, thanks for the thought. Thanks for the thought.
Take care. Bye.
Yes, buddy. Take care. Hi. Good evening. Hey,
hello.
You're on the program.
Hello.
Yes, go on.
Leonard. Hey, nobody's calling in and talking about the Mohammed stuff. Nobody's calling. And another thing, this JHK Laro, he was in charge of the gold.
Hey, stop there. What you're entitled to your opinion, and you have a forum, but just be careful with libel, right? Just keep it. You're entitled to say all of this was going on, and Mr. Lal should know about this. But I share the opinion that as the chairman of the gold board, he should have known what was going on, and he should make himself accountable to the Guyanese people. But keep it straight and keep it legal. Go on.
Well, Frederick was talking about it, you know. So, and the reason why I brought his name up, he keeps talking about the government, but talking the government all the time. Everything negative. Just because he get kicked out of the gold board because he was doing bad stuff. Another thing, the road that going on to the bridge, when is that going to be completed? It looks like a big hole there.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, the explanation given to me was that the old road that pass adjacent or slightly intersect where the new road should go was being used on a daily basis, and the traffic is so heavy that you couldn't stop the traffic to do it, or else you would have created
a big
yeah. And so it's a chance they took.
Do it 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's a chance they took to open the new bridge so that old pathway is unencumbered, so that you could go ahead now with the works. Right? That's the explanation given to me. And some of these things, you've got to make a call. Somebody got to make a call. A call was made. We may not all agree with the call, but the call had to be made, and the call was made, and we just got to work with it, work around it as best as possible. Another person.
I hope they fix it.
Yeah. It is being actively fixed. I know that the Minister of Public Works was on the scene today, in person, and was observing and so on. So I'm sure it will be fixed.
Okay, back to the Mohammed stuff thing.
Yeah.
If he is taken away to America, what would happen to the leader of the opposition?
Well, they would have to.
They will have to replace his party. Will have to replace him.
Yeah, the law says the person who the opposition, who represents the majority of the opposition. The combined opposition. Everybody who's defined as opposition will vote for the leader of the opposition, and whomever they choose, that person becomes. So it doesn't. Mohammed is not entitled to be opposition leader. It could be that the people go in there and decide to make Terence Campbell opposition leader.
But that isn't going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen, but I'm just saying the Constitution allows anybody from among the opposition benches.
It shouldn't be a problem, so if he's if he's extradited, and he will be extradited, you have a new opposition leader from the Win party. They will select somebody to lead them.
But with the combined opposition, you wouldn't be able to say if there would be any bickering between them.
But it doesn't matter. The Win party has enough votes
to get the opposition
leader, even if the PNC up no vote against them.
It's 12
versus 16. A majority, a simple majority.
This guy is way low in defending himself. Up to today, he says that the government is causing this on him. That's not the government. That's American OFAC.
I was telling somebody today, as much as it's a weak argument, if I were in his shoes, I would have said the same thing. Right? That's the only cop out you have. You can't. He's not in a position where he could admit what he has done.
It's misleading.
Well, that is what you have to do when you're facing criminal charges.
Why you think Aubrey Norton said the election was rigged? What he's going to tell the people that voted for him, vote for the PNC over the past 60 years. They've been reduced from 1 to 12. So you know what he's saying? The election was rigged. It's just like Mohamed. Mohamed said, I didn't do that. It's the Ghana government saying I do it. What else he has to say?
The government got to come out and speak up.
No, the government has been speaking up, and when the government spoke up through the person of Vice President Jagdeo, they said Jagdeo making Mohamed more popular. So whether you speak or whether you don't speak, everything got a middle ground. But as I'm saying, facing those criminal charges, extraditable criminal charges, I would have said the same thing. Actually, that's the only defense.
What Craig is saying, that's a normal automatic reaction of people. I didn't do it.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, thanks. Right. So once you ain't got a defense to something, it is all you got to do is deflect. It's an old political trick, right? You just deflect, right?
Norton said the election was rigged.
You're caught in a political spot. You deflect, and it's an old political trick. So if I were in Azurddin's position, I would have said, yes, the government do it. It's the government thing. Yeah, the government. The government went to Florida and went before the grand jury and say, it's the government. Yeah. Hey, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Kissoon and Mr. Craig.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say Mr. Mohamed is not in Parliament. What happens to his seat?
What happens to his seat? According to what happens is that
the win party replaces him.
He is the leader of the list. The deputy leader then could become the leader of the list and then withdraw his name. If his name is not withdrawn and he hasn't taken the oath of office, then he is not a member of parliament. So that seat will be left vacant. Or if he has taken the oath of office and is not able to attend parliament after being absent for, I think, 4 consecutive sittings, the seat is declared vacant.
And they have to
so there are several things that could happen there.
But it's no complicated matter. Once a parliamentarian resigns, migrates, dies,
or the seat is declared vacant for any other reason, the party then replaces.
Yeah. So when he's extradited, and I think he will be, that's a foregone conclusion, he will be replaced by his party.
Yeah, the party will choose somebody else.
Okay, I was wondering, because I don't ever think we had anything like this.
Right.
No, we have never had nothing here. A man who's supposed to be the opposition leader will be extradited to face criminal charges in the U.S.
Right. All right. Thank you very much.
Good.
Guyana always produces some strange situation. This is a
it's like every election,
unusual country.
Every election there is some and Freddie, tell you what, that's why I love election. When elections come around, I usually have an adrenaline rush.
So you enjoyed the campaign this time around?
Yeah.
Where you spoke at?
Mostly in Region 5, up and down the
that's where
Region
you came
5.
from, huh?
Yeah. That's where I was but I just love campaign. I love the election scene, the election scenario. It's one of those things. It's one of those, those experiences.
Now that this guy has been charged and will possibly face extradition, I don't think we should say that he will be extradited. The court has to rule. Obviously, extradition only ends up in the court if the person opposes it. Mm-hmm. If he opposes it, then it has to end. It will go to court. But that is not my concern with Azurddin. When I heard about the entering politics, I thought about the allegations against him on the Main Street incident. That And I am glad that the Starbuck News, who hates the government, has at least come out with a thing that, he's...
You're onto the program. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Craig and Mr. Kissoon. I don't feel that Mr. Mohamed going to be extradited until this 5 years is finished in Parliament. That is my belief.
Okay.
And if he would be extradited, I believe the opposition could go to Mr. Ann Hastings. That's my take.
Okay. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, I don't share his sentiment.
Who, that guy?
Yeah.
How anybody could share? United States federal government filed 11 charges against you. And they're not going
to assume that the government of Guyana today would want to be diligent.
Look the paper. Look who's involved in
talking about that. I do not know of any.
Jason Redding, United States Attorney, Lawinda Lawia, Criminal Division, Department of Justice, Lawia, Michael Berger, Senior Litigation Counsel, Jill Simon, Trial Attorney, 4th Section, Department of Justice. These people are probably prepared their extradition document already. So I don't know how we think Azurddin can stay in Guyana for 5 years. But that's his opinion.
I cannot recall any extradition request that was made of Guyana that failed.
Well,
I think that
but it doesn't mean you won't have failures. I think the evidence, the judge ruled in Jack Warner, famous Jack Warner in Trinidad, that the evidence wasn't sufficient.
Right.
So if he obviously he will go to court and apply for an injunction to stop the extradition. I think the United States didn't charge him 6 months after they sanctioned him. They charged him more than 2 years. So they were going through these computers and the
and
customs
from what I
and
understand is that the Barbados meeting was an attempt.
Oh, let me tell you what Let me tell you what happened in the Barbados meeting in case viewers didn't know. Azurddin and his father traveled to Barbados for a plea deal. The phone takes priority.
Hi, good evening. You're onto the program.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Kissoon and Craig. Mr. Kissoon, you said criminal charges. Azurddin Mohamed is facing criminal charges. What are the criminal charges he's facing, Mr. Kissoon?
That's where you're talking about the U.S. indictment or the local.
Let me tell you something about the court of law. Let me tell you something about law.
So, you ask a question before you tell us about law.
Let me give the answer. Let me give the answer. Let me give the answer. Let me get the answer. You won't get the answer, Mr. Kissoon. I listened to you years. You don't know the law. Listen. In order for you to appear in a court of law and to be charged and be accused, the court has to present to you loss. They have to present to you the evidence of loss, harm, and injury. I would like for the American justice system, and I know the American don't have no justice system, for the American justice system to tell the people of Guyana where did they suffer loss, harm, and injury.
Sorry.
We should get the authority.
Sorry.
You listen
to me. You listen to me. You come on the program. And have you read the indictment? Look at the screen and you will see the indictment. You come on the...
Freddie, sometimes I wanted to hear where he was going with that. What he is trying to say
all over Facebook.
No. We got break.
I know
this
that guy's a stupid man.
What he is trying to say is that Azurddin may have harmed Guyana, and America suffered no loss,
and the people
no harm or no damage.
And the indictment here shows where America suffered.
Two things.
You haven't even read anything. You haven't even read the indictment.
I want people to understand two simple things. One, if you are transiting illegal money through any signatory to the FATF and CFATF regime. Any country, the whole long list of countries could bring charges.
But the people have the indictment where he violated.
So, for example, let me just give you another example. If the Mohammeds transmitted money through Republic Bank, which has its headquarters in Trinidad, the Trinidadian government could bring charges against them for transiting money through Trinidad that is part of money laundering, because Trinidad is part of the financial architecture, right? Any one of the countries along the line could claim harm that this guy is talking about.
The ignorance of that guy is that the indictment, how many pages indictment it is? 14-page indictment, and it's all over Facebook, and we have it here, where he violated U.S. laws.
And
he's even charged of money laundering, and he come up, which harm, what laws.
For example, Freddie, if I steal the international money laundering ceiling to travel with cash on your person, right? If I steal $10,500 from Guyana, right? Guyana suffer harm, but if I pass in through the US with 10,500, which is above the and I don't declare it,
you'll be charged for violating US.
Exactly. US didn't suffer any harm, but I'm transiting through US with harmful money.
I wanted to show.
So the guy is out of his depth.
But literally, some of them, they have the right to come on the program, but if some of them and you know where they're going. I mean,
I think he wants to sound noble, but instead, the points he made.
You sure he isn't deluding himself?
Just simply foolish.
You sure he isn't deluding himself?
And the question that he raised.
What the indictment does. The indictments do. What the indictment do? It states how in its export of gold, how he circuitously violated U.S. laws. And it says particular U.S. laws, Title 18, Code Section 1341. It shows where its transactions of gold violated that law. And the indictment also stated that at the moment, the United States government has seized 5.3 million in gold bars shipped from Guyana and seized at the Miami International Airport. Obviously, the gold was seized because for some reason it did not meet some kind of legal requirements. So, but I think, as I said before, you got a call there.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. On the Azurddin issue, and yet the U.S. sanctioning him, the sanction his Mohammed's enterprise and 2 or 3 other business and his racing team. What now if the U.S. extend that sanction to his political party? I don't know if that's possible, and if that should happen, how would they move forward?
Based on what the U.S. ambassador has said and based on general knowledge that's available out there, unless it could be proven that those people were involved in transactions with him that is designed to circumvent the sanctions, then they also could be hauled in. For example, if Azurddin wants to do some business with the US and they hand the money to a member of the party and say, here, go and make this payment for me, that is trying to circumvent, and that person could be hauled in.
What?
So,
but just being a member of the political party, the risk or the exposure isn't that severe. it has to do with the relationship in the party as well. So for the time being, those persons are not likely to face any charges.
Okay, so how they sanction his racing team as this Team Mohammed?
But you sure about that? I never read anything about that.
I never read anything about
You're the
team.
first, no, but I'm saying you're the first person I've heard say that.
But maybe
I haven't read anything about that.
if a racing team is sanctioned, maybe the team, which is a business entity, and probably buy and sell cars, and expensive cars and car parts and so on, because racing is not cheap, right? So maybe that is the reason, and not.
Yeah, Mr. Kissoon, you could do your research. I think the sanction is racing team too.
And not the persons in the team. When the sanctioned persons in the team, then the person's name will be mentioned.
Okay, gentlemen, you guys have a good night.
Yeah,
Thank you.
One of the mysteries of this thing about the election sanctioning of the people on his list, I would like a lawyer or somebody to explain how is it that the bank divested itself from the people on Wynn's list and not the campaign manager. I would think the campaign manager was more essential.
The campaign manager wasn't
his sister.
Oh, okay.
How the campaign, how a person...
I would be surprised if they didn't do that. I would be surprised.
But she wasn't saying...
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump had 34 charges.
Mm-hmm.
And he was found guilty.
Yeah.
Why he still was going to be president?
Because he became president.
Yeah, but he was guilty before he
but in any country, sir, if you are not charged with an election offense, you are still allowed to run for president.
But this guy charged with election offense?
Hmm?
This man brings stability to this country, Mr. Mohammed. Y'all got to realize that.
Yeah, but...
Well, listen what I'm saying. Y'all got to realize, I don't consult which university you go to.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got to realize that. I talking truth and facts. Mr. Kissoon put on this phone to me when I tell you Donald Trump to be president, A year before, Mr. Kissoon.
I can't remember that. What I do know.
Stay local and make your point.
All right, I don't make no point.
Right, thank you. Good night, sir. Even the dull and ignorant have their opinion.
When I thought he was going to explain what he mean by Mohammed as bring stability to the country.
That man is just a fool.
Stability? They're like...
What stability?
The country was unstable.
I'm telling you this. In journalism, I know it's acceptable in journalism to call someone a jackass. I've seen editorials in papers.
I really don't think. But,
no. When you have a man who's under investigation for a murder, for a murder investigation, when a man is being investigated for shooting a high-powered rifle and and then he's sanctioned by the US, and just 3 months he entered politics and he brought stability. Some jackass is going to come on the phone and say he brought stability to a country that I lived all my life in and see anything. He's not such a jackass. There's nothing wrong in calling someone a jackass.
You want me to tell you something that I never spoke about in public? That I have carried with me. Hi, good evening. You're on to the program.
Hi, good night. This Freddie program?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Turn down your volume.
Yeah, the volume is down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, this Mohammed scenario here, this is precisely why Mohammed went into politics.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was anticipating that this scenario would have arisen. Why you think that the opposition and his sisters and everybody is calling for him to be sworn in early as a
opposition leader, because he thought that this would have helped his cause, protect him from going to America. So this is precisely why he entered politics, because he thought that being a political figure, it would have protected him some way or the other. And because he was anticipating these charges to come. Thank you.
Right. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, I was about to say that quietly I have carried a dislike for the Mohammeds and the management of that building that is on Lombard Street.
A whole part of the street with men with guns.
And I didn't know who the people are. Mohammed certainly wasn't as popular as he is now, and I'm talking like about 4 years ago. I didn't know who these people are. I didn't know Nazar Mohamed. I didn't know Azurddin Mohamed. I didn't know who. I just know Mohammed's enterprise, right? Hi, good evening.
Hi, Mr. Craig.
Yeah.
Freddie,
to the program.
Thank you very much. You guys are doing a pretty good job. I believe Freddie started to talk about the Mohammeds going to Barbados. What was the reason for them going to Barbados?
The calls take precedent, and I would have said it. Azurddin and his father went to meet the U.S. legal people in Barbados to make a deal, and the deal fell through because they agreed to pay an enormous fine, but the Americans wanted a 4-year jail term for the father, and that is what scuttled the deal. The Americans want a jail term, and I think it was agreed between 3 and 4 years, but they didn't agree on a jail term. They would settle, and the amount was enormous, but it's a jail term thing, and the Americans insisted on the jail term. And that is what has led to the charges. The jail term thing has to do with his father. I mean, his father is 74 years of age, and he has heart problems. So that jail thing, they couldn't agree to that jail thing. But
I'm glad for the clarification.
Okay, but
one more thing to it, Pat. Perhaps within the two of you, explain a little bit to the Guyanese people the extradition law within Guyana and the United States. I don't think much people know about it.
We're going to get somebody to come and do that. We are not legal.
Yeah, we may say a few things that are not.
Don't want to mislead anybody.
There's something I want to say about Mohammed and Azurddin, and I will only say it after he's extradited, because he could sue me for libel. It's an incident. Okay. It's an incident at Land of Canaan. Where is the conservancy? Not for the back of Land of Canaan. Something happened there with Azurddin Mohamed that I must tell the Guyanese people, but I will only say it after he's extradited. He would definitely sue me for libel.
Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah. Take care. Yeah, and as I was saying, I was traveling there, and at that time, these guys used to walk around with these big guns up and down, and they take up half the road with these things. Good evening.
Good evening, Leonard.
Hey, buddy.
You still on the program there?
Yes. We have until 3 minutes past 10.
Okay. I just heard that the indictment of Mohammed by the U.S. There was a guy by the name of Colonel Powell who presented a case to Congress. About a mushroom cloud with Iraq, and they went in there and slaughter Muslims, slaughter them, and there were no evidence. And the same thing they're coming up with again with Gaza, because they want the people land. Now Trump wants to embed himself into Gaza. How can we believe these people? These people are terrible people. Freddie should be talking more than saying, I hope he attend the march on Saturday coming up.
I will be there, and I think the two things, although I agree with what you have said in the two instances. That is high geopolitics.
Yeah, and this is not geopolitics.
High geopolitics.
This is straightforward criminal.
This is a criminal offense. And if you take a normal criminal offense and situate it into high geopolitics and national relations,
you'll be misleading yourself.
You'll be misleading yourself, and you'll get no answers to anything. All governments lie. All governments do. China, India, all of them do all kinds of things. But
Freddie, if you will be there Saturday, I will walk with my passport.
I was at all the marches.
I protest the American embassy when they were killing people in Gaza. Not now, before. And you know what they do? They cancel my visa. I'll walk with my passport and show you.
But
I'm not a political person.
I don't think anybody.
That's what they did to me.
I don't think you should ask us that if we accept what you're saying, we exonerate. It's two different. You're talking about two different things in two different worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, if one finds a minister lying, or if one finds a government is lying, nobody should be charged in the country for doing something.
But you got to remember, Shell Mohamed organized 3 protests against the American government here. And you got to look, maybe that's the cause of what they're doing now.
The indictment showed in 2017, before Gaza, there was ever Gaza or ever any protest march, that he had violated American laws with gold export. It began from 2017. Nobody knew Azurddin in 2017, and nobody knew about Israel didn't invade Gaza in 2017, and there was no Palestinian march. The indictment says it's from 2017 to 2024. But it's
There's nothing that the American can tell me that I would believe them. There's nothing that the American can say to me that I would believe them.
But you were saying there's nothing the American government, you would believe them after what the American government have done in international politics. So you are saying, therefore, by your own logic, you're saying if the American government offers an indictment against a rapist, you mustn't believe the American government. The American government right now have hundreds of thousands of people charged for murdering their wives, murdering their girlfriend. So you shouldn't believe that? I mean, what kind of analogy is that, man? Anyway, thanks for coming through, man.
Okay, Freddie. Good.
Hey, good evening. You're on to the program.
Hello?
Good evening. You're on to the program.
This is our last call.
Yes.
This is our last call, yeah.
Yes. Good evening, Professor Kissoon, Dr. Craig. I'm watching you guys live, but apparently it's a different streaming or something of the nature. Anyway, I'm calling to make an inquiry on behalf of my father. He has been paying NIS for as long as he can recall since he started working. But what happened when he's aged now and he wants to tap into his NIS, he's told that he would not receive that sum. Because they find, they're now finding some of the documents, that would have been there. So do I give you guys his information and you can make an inquiry into that?
Is he in Guyana? So he could visit?
Yes, he is in Guyana.
All right, send his information to me via WhatsApp.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, sir.
Contact him and we'll work through it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Have a good, blessed evening. Bye.
That's it. Our operator signal, we're 2 minutes over time. It's 10:05 and our operators have to go home. I normally count from 1 to 10, but I can't do that now because we're over. The program has closed. So on behalf of our audience and Leonard Craig, the Monday call-in edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show is over. Please don't call in. We're over time. We have to respect the rights of our operators. They have to travel far. So we will see you with a guest on Wednesday, and have a very pleasant Monday evening, whatever is left of it. Usual. Catch you later. Bye-bye.